My name is Mark, and I have never used a mechanical keyboard. Growing up, I mainly used laptops, which featured low-profile, thin keyboards. When I switched to Mac, I instantly fell in love with their chiclet-style keys, and used that on my MacBook Air for quite some time. When I connected it to a display, it was time to get a keyboard, so naturally I went for Apple's keyboard because of the built-in function keys and the way it just worked with Mac OS. Now, I've been on that wireless Apple keyboard for as long as I can remember, and I even upgraded to the latest one when that came out about a year and a half ago. So I've been using Apple's keyboards for a long time, and I'm a huge fan of the low travel, clicky, chiclet style keys. Because of that, I've never really considered a mechanical keyboard until now. So I picked one up, and this is my impressions of using it for the first day. The keyboard I picked up was the HyperX Alloy FPS gaming keyboard, and no, I am not a gamer, but these do have Cherry MX Blue switches, and after a lot of testing and looking, these are my favorite ones, and they really are more meant for typing than gaming, so no matter what this says, I'm not gaming, I'm just going to be typing, using it as a regular keyboard. Because this keyboard is not made for Mac specifically, I have to reprogram a bunch of the keys on it. So luckily you can remove the keycaps and arrange them in the order you want. And I had to get this app right here, which will allow me to remap these keys. And I've also redone the top function keys as well in order to act more like a Mac and do the functions that I was very familiar with the previous Apple keyboards. And as you can see, for the most part, it works fairly well. Everything is working. After I've reprogrammed and remapped all these keys, the only thing that doesn't work is the F1 and F2, which controls the display brightness on my Thunderbolt display, but really it's not a big issue because I never really changed the brightness anyway. One thing that's really cool about this keyboard is that it has backlighting, and it gets really, really bright as well. And what's interesting is that there's tons of different modes. So like it can cycle through a brightness and position. You can have it light up for each letter you type, which is interesting. And then there's also this one, which is my favorite. It sends a wave throughout the keyboard as you type, and if you start typing fast, it does not keep up. So let's see what it does. As you can see, it keeps flashing even after I'm done typing. Then we have our strobing, and then it just lights up these buttons over here. One issue I was not expecting was the ports it requires to run. Since this is a wired keyboard, you do need ports open, and I don't have any ports. So I had to attach a hub, which meant that the microphone had to go into the hub, but the microphone isn't working with the hub. So that's not very great. And plus it requires two ports, one for this other USB port, which is for power back here so you can charge something. So it's really not necessary, but it's taking up two ports, and I don't have that many available, so that's one issue I've run into already. So one thing that I wanted with this keyboard and that I absolutely love is the sound. It's incredibly clicky, just the keyboard click sounds like a typewriter. It's amazing, and that's what I love about it. For me, the size is way too big. I don't need these number pads or these function rows. The small form factor of this was perfect for what I use. So it's kind of taking into my desk space because I don't need the number pad, but I feel like that's really kind of keeping it on my desk right now, but I'm still not completely sold on a mechanical keyboard for the fact that it has to be wired, and you really don't find any good ones in this type of size. One thing that I was thinking that was going to take a while to get used to, and it kind of is the travel. So these chiclet keyboard styles right here have such little travel that you don't really have to press far. But these ones have very, very long travel on them, and that's kind of something that's taking a while to get used to. And it also does, for now, slow my typing a little bit for the fact that I can't just fly from one letter to the other. I kind of do have to go up and around to the next key. I can't just quite slide across as well as I could on this one. I do regret not getting a Mac specific keyboard because of the functions. None of them are labeled. Luckily this one did have a couple of labels for volume and media playback. For the most part there are no labels, and I did have to reprogram all the buttons. If I would have got a Mac specific one, I wouldn't have really had to reprogram any of this stuff. So maybe kind of getting a Mac version might have been a little bit better and easier to set up as well. So it's the end of the day, and these are my thoughts on the mechanical keyboard. It's really great to type on. I love the clicking feel of it. It's just so incredible, and it's very loud. Luckily, I'm always alone, so I'm never going to disturb anybody. The bulk and size of it, I can't really get over. It's a little bit too big for me. Like I said, I don't need the number pad, and the thickness is pretty big as well. And still, even though these keys don't have much travel to them compared to mechanical keyboards, I still love my ultra thin Apple keyboard, which barely has any travel at all. I'm a big fan of this keyboard, and I'm not sure the mechanical keyboard can replace it for me, but I still absolutely love the clicking mechanical keys. It's way better than that, but I still love this as well. So yeah, is it going to replace it for me? Probably not, but I'm definitely going to keep it around, use it for a bunch of other things, and whenever I need to get a good typing session in, I'm definitely going to be using that. As for accuracy, because I have to kind of go up and around all of the keys, it's not as accurate for me as this. I'm still typing at about the same speed, but it's just not quite as accurate, and it did take a little while to get used to. But those are my thoughts on my mechanical keyboard. I still like it, and I'm a big fan of them. Definitely my favorite is the MX Blue with the half click in between. I'm a big fan of that. But thank you for watching as always. If you like this video, leave a like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. This is Mark, and I will see you in the next one.